Hello everyone, this is Adya Malik. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do part 2 of Unit 20. The name of the unit is How to Take a Job Interview. This has been taken from the first year English textbook for the year 2020 and 2021. This video is going to have comprehension question being discussed in it. So we'll move to the comprehension questions. If you want to know about the chapter in detail, please watch the first part of this video, also available on my channel. So the comprehension questions has a list of questions, almost 10 of them. The first one is, what is a job interview? So it is like a straightforward definition. A job interview is a conversation between an employer and a job applicant. Applicant is also the candidate. It give employers the chance to meet the applicants and see if they like them enough to give them a job. It also enables them to determine if the applicant has the required skill, knowledge, and attitude for the job. So it is a complicated process, and this is a lot of things are going here, but basically it's a conversation between two people. One is the employer, the other one is the job applicant. And during these 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and in higher jobs, higher designations, the interviews can go to up to an hour also. So what are they using this time? They are using this time to meet the people and see if they have the skills and knowledge and attitude for the job or not. How should one dress for the job interview? We have already discussed it in the first video, so you can watch that as well. But generally, a job interview calls for the candidates to wear professional or business outfit. So you're not supposed to go in casual dress. You're not supposed to go there in an informal dress like trousers and joggers and shorts and t-shirts, etc. So these are not allowed. So you have to look very professional. Dress should be decent and smart. So it doesn't really matter how costly it is. It is not said that you should go for brands, etc. and you should go for really expensive clothes, but you need to dress decently and smartly. That is more important. Candidates should wear comfortable clothes, giving a professional look. So you should not be wearing clothes in which you are not comfortable. They are too tight or too loose or too big for you, and you have worn them for the first time. So, it can affect your preparation also. It can also affect your appearance. Do not wear something that you are wearing for the first time. You can ask your parents, you can ask your brothers and sisters, you can ask your friends what kind of dress you should be wearing for a certain job. The jobs are so different because every job requires a different kind of dress requirement. So you need to dress accordingly. It also impacts their confidence. So if you are dressing properly, this boosts your confidence also. But if you are not properly dressed, you can lose your confidence also, because if you're wearing something which is too tight or too loose or it's pinching somewhere, so that affects your confidence as well. Avoid overdressing. There's something called overdressing also, because you are doing too much, like wearing too much jewelry or wearing too much perfume, and wearing a really big watch, a wristwatch, etc. So that can look overdressed. And it looks clumsy, disrespectful, cheap, and untidy. So you need to strike a balance. You're not supposed to look very formal, and you're not supposed to look very casual. So somewhere in the middle. What is the impact of your appearance on the interview? As it says that the first appearance is the last appearance, that whatever impact you create on the employer as you walk into the room, that stays there for some time. So the way you dress for an interview always also conveys your feelings about the company and the job you want. So if you are dressed up very casually, so it also shows that you are not very serious about the job. So you have taken the whole interview very casually. So that has a negative effect on your result. When you dress professionally, you convey an attitude of respect for the organization, the job, and the hiring manager. Your dress also affects your confidence. So that is why your appearance really matters. It shows that you have prepared, you have thought about it, and you are taking the interview very seriously. So that is the first statement that you make even before you speak a single word. So you need to think very carefully about that. Describe different types of job interviews and their purposes. In the previous video, I discussed this point in quite detail with examples as well. So again, I would say that if you want to have a detailed answer, you can refer to the previous video about this unit, the part 1. Job interviews are of different types, and each requires a separate set of skills to ace. So if you want to be successful in the interview, you need to first understand what type of interview you are going to be taking. First, there are behavioral interviews, as the word suggests, that they are more focused on your behavior to assess the personality traits, attitudes, and behavior of candidates. So you need to understand that the employer and the candidate are going to meet for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and that is not enough to judge the personality of the applicant. So these are the different types of interviews which are being created, and this helps the employer to know more about the candidate in less amount of time. So in behavioral interviews, behavioral questions are asked to bring about information from you on how you would be likely to handle any real world challenge based on your previous behavior facing a similar circumstances. So they are going to ask you something that what did you do in a certain situation? So you are going to rely on your previous behavior and you are going to tell them how you faced a certain problem or how you solved a certain problem. Second comes the case or situational interviews, very important, in which fake or imaginary scenarios are created. Some problem is given to you and you are asked to find a solution to that problem or analyze the problem and come out with a plausible, good solution. It assesses the problem solving and analytical ability of the candidate. Scenarios are created. Scenario means different situations are given to you, imaginary situations, and questions are related to hypothetical situations. So you are given a situation and then they ask you a very open question, and they are more difficult interviews because you need to answer on the spot. You are not given any preparation time, so you need to be very careful how you answer these kind of questions because they can be very tricky. Third, there is the competency or job specific interview, as the word suggests that it is just focused on the job and its different fields. Questions are directly related to the specific job, its related field. So if you are applying for a job of a mechanical engineer, the chances are that most questions are going to be related to engineering, mechanical engineering and its different fields, because that is needed in that kind of a job. Lastly, the last type is the mock interview. As the word suggests, again, mock means fake, not real. Mock interview is a practice interview that the candidate might take with a career counselor, family member or a colleague before appearing in the final interview. So it is more like a rehearsal of your final interview. So different situations are going to be given to you, different questions about your academic qualification, your experience, your introduction. So this gives you a chance to prepare for the interview. So this is more like taking the interview before you actually take the final one. So it is more like rehearsal. It's like the net practicing you do before the cricket match. How can a person keep his nerves calm during the interview? So obviously it is nerve-wracking. It makes you very nervous also. Candidates should keep their nerves calm. The key to confidence is preparation. So preparation. If you're prepared for the interview, you are going to be confident. And if you're confident, your nerves are going to be calm also. Interviewers usually ask candidates to introduce themselves. So plan your opening. Prepare a nice, precise self-introduction covering your academic qualifications, skills, and previous experiences, if any. Also learn about the organization, its projects, job types, and required skills. So it's all about preparation. If you are well prepared, you are going to be confident. And if you are going to be confident, you're not going to be nervous. So you need to do your homework before you go into this interview. What is the importance of the first 5 minutes in a job interview? How should the opening of the interview be planned? So it is basically come in a research study that studies show that 30% of the hiring decisions are made within the first 5 minutes. So it is your first appearance. It is how you walk inside, how you sit, how you present yourself. And in the first 5 minutes, people usually decide whether you are going to get the job or not. So that is how important these 5 minutes are. Thus, the behavior, response, attitude of a candidate during these first 5 minutes are very important. Candidates should focus on their body language, means firm handshake, eye contact, smile, politeness, body posture. Also, a well-prepared opening can make a huge difference. Candidates must be open and honest about their experiences. Don't try to hide or lie in front of the employers, because if you get the job and they later find out that you actually lied about your experience, that is going to leave a very negative effect. You are going to lose the job, but it also, makes you unfit for some future jobs as well, because they are not going to give you a very good review. What is the role of self-confidence? in a job interview and how can it be boosted. It's all about self-confidence. Interviews are basically held to see how confident you are as far as your knowledge or job is concerned. Self-confidence is an essential skill required for an interview. Candidates must have confidence in themselves so that the employers might trust them. They are actually giving you a job, they are giving you money, they are giving you their company to work in. So they have to have some trust in you. So that is why the self-confidence is so important. It helps them to land a dream job. It will give confidence regarding what they have prepared completely. So self-confidence is integral. I would say it is the first ingredient you need. It's the first requirement you need for a good job interview. What type of text is used in the essay? Illustrate its example from the text. As I already told you, it's an expository essay. The text is informational and educational. It is expository in nature as it explains the process of taking a job interview. Expository essays are basically about a process, how things are done, how many types are there, what are the things that you should keep in mind. It starts with explaining the types of job interviews and moves on to the preparation of the interview, including appearance, body language, self-confidence, knowledge about the company, and controlling nerves, etc. So this is an expository essay. What is the central idea of the lesson? Again, we have already discussed it in the part 1 of this video. The central idea is to inform the job applicants or candidates about the types and process of taking a job interview. It tells them about the requirements, skills, and attitude necessary for a good job interview. So this is like the turn, the most important turn in your life, that you are going out there to find a job. And if you are well prepared, obviously there are higher chances that you are going to get the job. What is a mock interview? How can it be beneficial for the preparation of the interview? As we already discussed earlier, a mock interview is a practice interview that the candidate might take with a career counselor, family member, or a colleague before appearing in the final interview. The purpose of a mock interview is to provide the applicant with an opportunity to practice his interviewing skills in an environment similar to the actual interview. So you try to recreate the same environment, the same kind of table and chair and sitting in a room, wearing your proper clothes, etc., going in there and, rehearsing the whole process. A mock interview is a great opportunity to become familiar with interview questions and interview etiquettes. How to sit, how not to sit, how to have eye contact, how to control your voice, how to control your hands, how your shoulders should be square, and especially some kind of very typical questions can be prepared earlier. For example, about your academic qualifications, so you can have a very well prepared introduction about it. And if you have been to different jobs, you can create a little opening about the previous experiences that you have, the job experiences that you have. So that would give you ample time to practice the introduction again and again. And when you are going to enter the real interview, you are not going to make any mistake as far as those questions are concerned. Also, your career counselor can give you some scenarios to think about. For example, if you are applying for a job of a teacher, he can ask you that if there is a slow learner in your class, how are you going to deal with that? Or if you have a too big a class, for example, there are 60 students in your class, how are you going to control them? So these are the different situations that can be given to you in a mock interview. So you can prepare for these kind of questions in the actual interview. So you just, the first and the last thing is be confident and be prepared, because the rest can be learned easily. But confidence is something that you have to have in yourself. So these were the comprehension questions. If you have any other question, please ask in the comment box. Like the video, comment if you have any questions, share it with your friends, subscribe my channel, and last but not the least, thank you for watching.